Well, I kept looking for a job there in San Francisco, but I was very, very particular about the kind of job I wished I would get. I didn't want to work. All I wanted was employment. So I became a newspaper reporter. I hated to do it, but I couldn't find honest employment. I landed the job on the morning call, was trying to come up with an unusual story, something that would capture the fancy of the town. And I had this young friend who's an anarchist, but anarchy wasn't doing too well that year. And my friend the anarchist said he thought his life was a failure. I said I thought it was too. He said he thought he ought to commit suicide. I said, all right. Which is a disinterested advice to a friend in trouble. Of course, I could see there was a story there, and I wanted to get it. And used all levels of friendship to keep this depression in my friend's mind. Would-be suicides are not dependable, hard to hold to their purpose. He had a preference for a pistol, which was extravagant. We didn't have enough between us to hire a pistol. A fork would have been easier. Well, he finally decided he was going to drown himself. And I said I thought that was an excellent idea. The only trouble was he was a good swimmer. But we went down to the beach anyway. Then something most dramatic happened. There came in on that sea something that had been on its way for years. It came rolling in across the broad Pacific with a message that was full of meaning for that poor young man. It was a life preserver. So here's a complication. Then I had an idea. I suggest that we pawn the life preserver and get a revolver. Well, the pawnbroker gave us an old Derringer with a bullet about the size of a hickory nut. Oh my, what a terrible moment it was when my young friend stood there with that pistol pressed against his forehead, waiting. Finally I said, well, pull the trigger. And he did. And it changed his whole life. It blew a tunnel straight through his head. You could look right through it. It took out all the gray matter out of his brain. And he was sent to Congress. He got a bill passed to pay for a $10,000 agricultural fair to show off $40 worth of pumpkins grown on his brother's farm. He spent 2 terms in Congress and 1 in the penitentiary. Then that fellow sent back home, now a respectable member of society again, going to work for Standard Oil.